Yeah, I hate to tell you, but I won't fit in your box. I know you wanna know, but you cannot pick my locks. See you a part of me, like New York is to the Bronx. And everything is everything, we do not need to box. Cause I could stick and move, I am focused like a soldier. And you've been in my way, heavy like a boulder. And everybody's scared of death and getting older. When you release your fear, come cry on my shoulder. Cause finally the earth's come around. Use a new part of your brain, make a new sound. All we want is love, it's making a heart pound. The new children are here, they are coming out the ground. Stop medicating them, their power will abound. Now please just gather round, the pitch is at the mound. Catch my words, don't clown, you know you like my sound. Now give your girl a pound or a hug would mean you're down. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. Down is the four rivers, the waters they will heal. I will lift my hands up to the sky and make it real. I'll make it real. My brothers and my sisters, you will see how I feel. I will give you $1 to listen. Baby, let's make a deal. No, you can't buy me, don't even try me. In fact, unleash your lasso and please untie me. I'm done with the cowboys, they do not excite me. Don't need your opinion, please don't indict me. I won't do your homework, do not assign me. The universe will teach you what science is finding. Open up your chakra, your aura could be blinding. Grab some rose quartz and start reminding. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. With the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. I am a writing machine and this is my weapon. Fighting with my mouth, peace I will be repping. We're all contradictions, stop your suggesting. The righteous do not judge cause they know it's projecting. And just cause I say it's the age of feminine doesn't mean that I am not down for a man. We all need some yang, get that dick up out your head. Cause there are mad women who are too masculine. And yes, I know that I do not sound Caucasian, but sorry, this is how it comes out like the days in. My soul is here for some consciousness raising. Stop all your labeling, I'm Kelly, amazing. And I'm not concerned with which God you're praising or what herb you're blazing. Your light shines, it's phasing, and now the bridge fades in. And now the bridge fades in. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. You can light your own way. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. Today could be your day. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. I will be lighting my own way. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. Today is my day. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something I think pretty much everybody experiences every single second, but probably doesn't think about too much. Time itself.
Yeah.
Is it a constant, ever-flowing river?
Mm-hmm.
Or could it be an illusion that our brains create? We've got a stack of really cool sources for this deep dive.
Nice.
Dictionary definitions to keep us grounded, scientific articles pushing the boundaries, and even some opinions from physicists and philosophers
Sounds good.
who've spent their lives kind of pondering this very question.
Yeah, you know what's really striking to me is just how obsessed we humans are with time. Like we build our entire lives around it. Especially in the modern workplace, you know? We get paid hourly, we get billed monthly, and there's this constant pressure to be productive within these little time boxes.
That is so true.
Right.
And speaking of productivity,
Okay.
our first source actually defines the word slacker.
Oh, interesting.
And you won't believe this. It means a person who doesn't work hard enough. Almost makes you wonder if using the app Slack makes you a slacker.
Ha 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 ha.
It's just a little joke, but
I like it.
It does show how deeply ingrained this whole concept of time and productivity is in our culture.
Right.
And it sets the stage for exploring how time, whether it's real or not, dictates our lives.
Yeah, and that's really where the rabbit hole starts to get deep. Because while we're all running on schedules, physicists like Carlo Rovelli are suggesting time might not be this linear flow that we all experience. He sees reality as this massive web of events.
Yeah.
And what we call past, present, and future, it's just our human way of trying to, like, make sense of it all.
So not a river rushing forward, but more like everything's already out there, all moments kind of existing at once.
Exactly. That's the very mind-bending idea behind the block universe theory.
Okay.
Think of it like a loaf of bread,
Okay.
where every slice is a moment in time.
Got it.
The whole loaf exists, but we're just experiencing one slice at a time.
Okay, that's a helpful image. But then why does it feel like time moves forward? Why do we remember the past, but not the future?
Well, that's the famous arrow of time problem.
Right.
Just because we experience time flowing in one direction
Right,
doesn't
yeah.
mean it actually is flowing.
Okay.
It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
The film itself doesn't change, but the unfolding of the story
Right.
creates that illusion of a timeline.
Right. Even though all the frames of the film exist at once,
Yep.
we experience it moment by moment.
Exactly.
But wouldn't that mean that time travel is possible? Like, just jump to a different part of the film.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but
Right.
these theories do raise fascinating questions about the nature of time and our place within it.
Yeah.
And they're not the only arguments against time as this fundamental force.
Okay.
There's also the concept of time being relative, meaning it's intertwined with space,
Right.
not a separate independent thing.
So like how time supposedly slows down for someone traveling near the speed of light. And then there's this logical pretzel. To describe time, you'd need to already exist within time to do so.
Yeah,
It's a circular argument.
it is.
It makes your head spin.
A little bit, yeah.
But even with all this talk of time as an illusion,
Okay.
some experts aren't ready to just like throw in the towel just yet.
Okay.
John Polkinghorne, for example,
Okay.
argues that the block universe kind of falls apart
Okay.
because we genuinely experience things in our past, which implies an unfolding future.
It's like we're not accessing all points in time equally right.
Right.
If everything was just there, wouldn't our memories be all jumbled up?
That's his point.
Okay.
And then there's Fotini Markopoulou Kalamara,
Okay.
who focuses on the fact that, well, stuff happens.
Right.
Time feels real to us.
Yeah,
Because things change, we age, events unfold.
they do.
She argues for a more complete theory
Okay.
that accounts for this lived experience, rather than just dismissing time altogether. It does make you wonder if maybe this whole debate is a bit of a human construct in itself. We're so obsessed with categorizing and labeling everything.
Right.
We were trying to force time into a box that doesn't quite fit in.
It's a valid point.
Yeah.
And speaking of boxes, let's step back and look at how time behaves on a grander scale
Okay.
out in the vast universe.
Okay, now we're really going to blow some minds, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're talking time dilation,
Okay.
where time literally slows down because of gravity.
Mhm.
Did you know that because Boulder, Colorado is a mile above sea level,
Okay.
time actually moves a tiny bit faster there
Really?
compared to someone at sea level?
Just because of the altitude?
Yes. It's all about the weaker gravitational pull.
Huh. Wow.
But things get really wild when you start to consider black holes.
Okay.
Their gravity is so immense
Yeah.
that time practically stops altogether.
Wow.
In fact, space and time actually switch roles near a black hole.
So our concept of time, like, just completely breaks down.
Wow. And then there's cosmological time dilation, which is caused by the expansion of the universe itself.
Okay.
Imagine a distant star exploding from our perspective.
Yeah.
It might appear to fade away much slower
Mm.
because the universe's expansion is stretching time.
So it's like time is running slower in those far-off regions of space.
It is.
Like, it's like the universe has its own version of slow motion.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And speaking of these mind-blowing possibilities,
Okay.
we have to talk about the potential end of time.
Oh, okay.
Astrophysicist Katie Mack
Yeah.
suggests that the universe might eventually become this inert cloud of matter and energy.
Okay.
evenly spread out.
So in that state, there would be no change, so no need for time as we understand it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It challenges our entire perception of time as this linear, ever-flowing entity.
Yeah.
And it brings us to a really intriguing question.
Okay.
If time might actually end on a universal scale,
Yeah.
what does that mean for time on a tiny microscopic level?
Okay, so we're zooming in now
Yeah.
from the universe to the subatomic level.
Uh-huh.
This is where things get really complex, right?
You could say that particle physicists are grappling with time's role in their research.
Okay.
One of them, Nima Arkani-Hamed, has even declared space-time is doomed.
Whoa.
He believes that time actually complicates the math
Okay.
when trying to understand particle collisions and is experimenting with alternative models.
Doomed. That sounds pretty dramatic.
It is.
But so does saying time might not even exist at that fundamental level.
It's definitely a radical idea,
Yeah.
but it highlights just how much we still don't know about time.
It's incredible how we can be so ruled by time in our daily lives.
Right.
Yet physicists are questioning its very existence at the smallest scales.
It really puts things into perspective.
It does, yeah.
We're so busy checking our clocks, meeting deadlines, trying not to be slackers. But what if those clocks are measuring something that isn't even truly fundamental to reality?
It makes you wonder.
It does.
Yeah.
And that wondering is precisely where we want to leave you for now.
Okay.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll come back down to earth, so to speak, and explore how this mind-bending science intersects with our very human experience of time.
Because even if time is an illusion, it's an illusion we're all living in.
We are.
Stick around for part 2 where we unpack what it all means for you.
Good stuff.
In the meantime, drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes.
We'd love to know what's bubbling up for you as we kind of explore these big questions together.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to like and share this episode and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives.
Please do.
We'll be back soon with part 2 of Time, the illusion we live by.
You know, it's amazing to think, even though physicists are questioning the very fabric of time, we humans still build our lives around it.
Right. I mean, I'm looking at my watch right now, making sure we're on track. We measure everything in seconds, minutes, hours.
Right.
It governs our work, our sleep, our meals.
Exactly.
Even our pets operate on a schedule.
Yeah, think about it. Your dog doesn't need a clock to know when it's dinner time.
Right.
Animals have this innate sense of time, probably linked to their biological rhythms in the natural world.
And yet we humans have this extra layer of timekeeping. This almost obsessive need to measure and manage time.
Yeah, no, it's...
Makes you wonder, are we prisoners of our own clocks?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
It seems like there's this tension between time as this natural phenomenon, like the cycles of day and night,
Right.
and time is a human construct, you know?
Yeah.
This rigid system of seconds and minutes that we've created.
And then we have these inventions like daylight saving time.
Right.
Where we're literally manipulating time to suit our needs.
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to control something that might ultimately be beyond our control.
It definitely raises the question of what control we truly have over time.
Yeah.
If it's an illusion, a product of our perception, does that mean we have more freedom than we realize? Or are we just fooling ourselves?
Oh, it's a real head scratcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the one hand, we're bound by deadlines and schedules.
Right.
But on the other hand, we have the power to change our habits, prioritize differently,
Right.
and even kind of shift our perception of time through things like mindfulness and meditation.
There's definitely a sense that we're more than just passive observers of time. We can choose how we engage with it,
Yeah.
how we spend it, and even how we think about it.
You know, this reminds me of that Einstein quote.
Yeah.
The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. If time isn't this linear, fixed thing,
Right.
then maybe we have more agency than we
It's
realize.
a very empowering thought.
Yeah.
Maybe by understanding the limitations of our perception of time,
Right.
we can actually unlock new possibilities for how we live our lives.
It's like we've been given this whole new way to view this thing that's been with us since the moment we were born.
And this is where the real deep dive begins.
Yeah.
Exploring not just what time is, but what it means for us.
Right.
How can we make peace with the constraints of time
Yeah.
while also embracing its potential fluidity?
Right. we can get so caught up in the everyday pressures of time
Totally.
that we forget to step back and consider the bigger picture.
And that bigger picture is full of mind-blowing possibilities.
It is.
We've talked about the block universe, time dilation, even the potential end of time.
Right.
It makes you realize that our everyday experience of time is just this tiny sliver of a much grander reality.
It's almost humbling, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder what other aspects of reality we might be taking for granted,
Right.
simply because we're limited by our human perspective.
Yeah, it's like we're constantly learning and unlearning things about the universe.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting to be alive and curious in this particular moment in time.
Yeah.
But speaking of this particular moment,
Oh, yeah.
we're actually running a bit short on time for this segment.
Oh, the irony.
Haha.
But don't worry, we'll be back with the final part of this time-bending deep dive very soon.
In the meantime, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the illusion of time? Does it make you feel more free or more trapped? Share your reactions and questions in the comments below.
Welcome back to our exploration of time. Or should I say the illusion of time. You know, it's funny. We've spent this whole deep dive dissecting time, analyzing it from all angles.
Yeah.
But I feel like the more we learn, the less we actually know.
It's the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, time is this fundamental aspect of our existence, yet it remains one of the biggest mysteries in science and philosophy.
We're so used to thinking of it as this linear, straightforward thing. But then you hear about concepts like the block universe or time dilation, and it's like, whoa, the ground beneath you starts to shift.
It really challenges our assumptions.
Right.
And as we've discussed, this challenge to our understanding of time isn't just theoretical.
Right.
It has practical implications for how we live our lives.
Exactly. If time isn't this rigid, unchangeable thing,
Right.
then what does that mean for our sense of free will,
Right.
our ability to make choices?
It's a profound question.
It is.
If the future is already written in the block universe, for instance,
Yeah.
then does that mean our choices are predetermined?
Right.
Or are we still actively shaping the future with
Yeah.
every decision we make?
It's enough to make your head spin.
It really is.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the beauty of this whole topic. It forces us to confront some of the biggest questions
Right.
about existence, consciousness, and the nature of reality itself.
Totally. And even if we don't come up with definitive answers, the process of exploring these questions can be transformative. It can open up new perspectives and ways of thinking.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think it encourages us to be more mindful of how we spend our time,
Right.
even if it is an illusion.
It's like that saying,
Yeah.
time is the most valuable thing a man can spend,
Right.
even if it's not a thing in the traditional sense.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, are there ways to experience time differently, to break free from the tyranny of the clock, so to speak?
We talked about how animals seem to have a more intuitive sense of time,
Right.
tied to natural rhythms.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something we can learn from that.
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
Instead of constantly checking our watches and stressing about deadlines, what if we try to tune into our own internal clocks more?
Right.
Pay attention to the natural cycles around us.
Yeah, perhaps by doing that,
Yeah.
we can develop a deeper understanding of time that goes beyond mere measurement.
It's like we've been so focused on quantifying time
You're right.
that we've forgotten to actually experience it.
Yeah, to be present in the moment.
Right.
And that experience can be so rich and multifaceted.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
There's the time of our memories, the time of our dreams,
Yeah.
the time of our hopes and aspirations.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Time isn't just one thing.
It's not.
It's a whole spectrum of experiences.
Exactly. And those experiences are ultimately what give time its meaning.
Right.
It's not just about how many seconds tick by on a clock,
Yeah.
but about how we fill those seconds with life, with connection, with purpose.
So even if time is an illusion,
Yeah.
it's an illusion that we get to create.
And that's a pretty empowering thought.
It is.
We might not be able to control the flow of time,
Right.
but we can control how we dance with it.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like we're all in this grand cosmic ballroom and time is the music. We can choose to waltz gracefully, to tango passionately, or even to just sit this one out and observe.
The choice is ours.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this whole deep dive. Even if we don't fully understand time,
Right.
we can still choose to use it wisely,
Yeah.
to savor the present moment, and to create a future that aligns with our values.
Beautifully said. And on that note, it's time for us to wrap up this episode.
Okay.
We've gone from questioning the very existence of time
Right.
to exploring how we can make the most of it, even if it's all in our heads.
It's quite a journey.
But the conversation about time doesn't end here.
No, it doesn't.
We encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yes.
to keep sharing your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.
We love hearing from you.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the illusion of time,
Please.
be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more mind-expanding explorations.
We'll see you next time.
Until next time, fellow time travelers.